Well, hello again. Welcome to my sewing room, which has expanded in floor space since the last time I did a video up here. I'm halfway through another video that I started when it was pretty cramped. So now I'm very excited to get back to the pile of sewing projects that I have, in addition to like 6 more things I wanted to make this summer. I was kind of hoping we would have moved by now, so I hadn't asked about moving the boxes, but since it looks like, you know, we're still here with no sign of of being able to rent any place in the entire Netherlands, I decided to go for it and request some more floor space. So here we are, and I have a lot of sewing to do because I've recently kind of been feeling about making like an early 1910s style wardrobe for myself. I don't know why it's striking me right now, but in order to even get started on dresses, I need the proper undergarments, which is a lot of work. I need to make a lawnmower. That's convenient. Yes, right now. As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted a couple days ago. I've changed. However, as I was saying, I have been falling in love with like early 1910s fashion, probably due to a recent re-binging of Downton Abbey. So I've been gathering up all of the photos that I can find that are dresses that I love, just inspirational dresses that I love, and hopefully someday I will have my own versions of, but most of them are a little complex for me at the moment, so I'm starting from the simplest to the most elaborate, beginning with actually a remake of a dress I own. This dress is around 1910s, and it's super comfy but super faded and short. So I found a very similar fabric at the store, and I think I've got all the little bits and pieces that I need to make that, and I'm very excited to start. After that, or maybe at the same time, I want to create something based on what these 2 young ladies are wearing here. See, they're roller skating while wearing their dresses over harem pants, I believe they're called, which intrigues me because I enjoy Indian fashion, as you can maybe tell. Maybe I'll have an insert shot here so you can see the whole outfit. This is like the comfiest outfit ever, and if I can you know, combine that with the 1910s. However, before I can really make any of these things, I need to make the undergarments. So I have to have some little patience and start with all the undergarments, which means a chemise, which I've been cheating with like a white cotton undershirt, and I might continue to do that sometimes, but like a chemise, the drawers, the corset cover, the petticoat, or things can kind of be mixed and matched into a combination corset cover and drawers, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, or a slip, like for under very, very fine, very more fitted column dresses, like this one that I want to make. So that one probably has a slip under it. I don't know, I'm still learning all of this. So join me as we begin this journey into the 1910s. Here we go. I'm beginning with the most foundational undergarment for a historical wardrobe, the corset. To make it a little easier on myself, a corded sports or health corset to be precise. So my buskin cording has not arrived yet, but I really wanted to get this started ahead of time. This is about as far as I can get today, I think, without that, oh, and the grommets. Well, I'm not gonna put the grommets in this. I'm gonna figure something else out. This is very basic. I think I have to stop for today. I'm trying to make this more of an overbust corset. I did a little outline of my shirt there, but it's gonna kind of have that shape, or maybe a little lower. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. The ones I've seen online have a whole lot more pieces to them, I think, but I'm just gonna do my best. Is it my first corset? No, I actually made an Elizabethan one when I was in high school. Still have that. I kind of halfway did it. I'll show it to you sometime. This might not fit because I made it when I was like 15. But we're gonna try. I haven't worn it since. Yeah, wow. It's not bad. I could probably still use this if I make an Elizabethan gown, I guess. Anyway, just wanted to share that because I'm kind of proud of this too, because I was like 15 back in the day when the internet was new, and I hadn't sewn so much. I wish that I knew what I know now. All right, back to the sports corset. The busks arrived and I basted them onto my mock-up and then forgot to take any video of me confirming the fit before moving on to the process of cutting out pieces from my actual fabric. I used a plain cotton for the lining and a cream-colored cotton satin as my outer layer. The next step was to break out my cotton twill tape and line it up at the waist to reinforce this high-tension area. I had to match it up on each panel so that it would be a nice straight line. Then it was time to insert the busks by sewing together the front lining and outer panels, right sides together. On one side I had to leave openings in the seam for the busk loops, the other side would require holes to be punched for the posts. Then I had to entrap one side of the busk and use my awl to stab holes in the other panel for the busk post before entrapping that one as well. After this, I finally moved on to the most time-consuming part of this project, creating channels and inserting cording. I really wanted to make sure each channel was one piece of thread and not have any areas where I had to overlap because the thread decided to act up, just because I'm a perfectionist. But this was not my sewing machine's plan. So there was unfortunately a lot of time spent ripping out thread and beginning again. I did this for 36 pieces of cording, and I'm not going to make you watch me sew each one because that would be tedious. I'll just show you how nice it looks when I get a few of them lined up. To attach the front panels to the side front panels, I sandwiched the front pieces between the side pieces, right sides facing together, and sewed all 4 pieces together. I apparently had something important I wanted to say at this point, but I forgot to plug in the microphone or something, so unless you can read lips, we will never know what it was. But I continued on creating channels for the cording, and did this for a very long time. At some point it was time to work on the back opening of the corset. I stitched along the edge to create the casing for the boning I would be inserting, and then a little farther out, leaving room for the grommets. I don't think I used the right kind of facing to strengthen the fabric here, but I guess we'll find out if the grommets tear loose. I continued on with more channeling on the back panels. No, not that kind of channeling. And when I finished them, I attached them to the back side panels using the same method I used for the front. And of course, ironed it all nice and flat. Well, even though I thought I had charged 2 of the 3 batteries on this camera, they've all died now. So we are back to recording with the cell phone. I'm gonna put it in a little holder here and not turn anything off. Move the camera tripod and get back to work. Just ironed that flat, pinned it. Gonna sew it again. Also, if you've noticed, I've changed shirts, and it's not because it's a new day since the pink sweater that I was wearing. It's really hot up here. So that's that. Here we go. So I've been pinning it together, and as I would sew these in, my fabric just slipped and slipped and slipped until it's way off, and it should still be okay. It should still be okay. I'm gonna cut it and, oh gosh. I'm afraid, but I think we're still okay. I was supposed to put in the grommets as well next, which I will do, so that I can try it on better. But I realized I have this little pattern piece for the grommet interfacing, and I have no idea even what it means, because it's this tiny little piece here, and I don't understand what I'm supposed to do with that. Anyway, it's so we'll just hope that's strong enough with the other interfacing I put in there, and then we'll put the steel boning right there. Oh, fingers crossed. I decided it was time for a bit of a fitting to see how things were going. It seemed good to me, so I sewed it together at the side seams. Now it was time for the straps, the directions for which I completely misunderstood at first and had to back up and correct myself. I don't know why I thought I had to turn them inside out, but I didn't. This battery's gonna die too. What is up with the batteries? I just charged them. Never mind. But we're gonna get this, because I am having a really great hair day today. I still have COVID, but the pin curls worked really good, and I just wanted to... This is the end of the day, so it's not as good as it was earlier, but I had to share my good hair day. Okay, well, I don't know how much of the last video actually recorded because 3 batteries died on the actual camera. I don't know what's going on. I have them charging here. They said 0. Now they're saying 75%, and that is not true. It is lying to me. It has been lying this whole time because obviously they were not charged. Anyway, I'm having a real nice hair day. The pin curls turned out real nice. And I just wanted to share that with you before I told you what comes next. I got new grommets in the mail just now from Amazon. Thank you, Amazon. Should be correct. Went with gold this time. Changed my mind. I am going to puncture holes in the back of the corset with this little thing. It does leave a bit of a rust mark. We're poking from the inside out. It shouldn't matter. I'm going to put grommets on there anyway. Maybe I can clean it sometime. And I'm not sure how I'm gonna get the grommets to stay in. I have this tool, but I'm not actually sure if it's the correct tool. But I'm gonna try it. And if it doesn't work, then I'll find a hammer. I don't know. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna poke the holes and I'll get right back to you. Okay, that tool doesn't really work, so I have to figure this out. Okay, grommets are not happening today. I have tried everything I can think of and just ordered something on Amazon that I hope will work. It's just a little piece of metal to hammer on, and hopefully it's the right size and it will work, and tomorrow all the grommets will get set. This corset is taking forever, and I'm still waiting to hear back from a company about some lace, because I really want to get started on that stuff too. I finally have a tool that works. I have this little thing and this little thing, and they go together, and then you use this thing to just pound it until you've got a nice working grommet on this really bright white piece of fabric. So now I'm going to put 28 of them in here and finally move on. Jeez, I was cutting it short. I only have today and tomorrow to work on this before we head off to France. I want to get this completed so I can pick up the, corset cords and have a working corset. I have to say it was pretty satisfying to hammer in those grommets. As I'm editing this video, I'm also reading through the instructions and realizing I completely skipped over the step where I was supposed to use some glue to go around the edges of each grommet hole to help prevent them from pulling out with use. Again, whoops. Let's pray for the best. Next step is to put in some boning, which I've cut. And I tried, these are not staying on the ends of the boning. I've been hammering them and using tools and they just fall right off. So I'm gonna go find some glue and glue them on. And then I put them in this nice little channel next to the grommets on this really bright material. So I'm gonna go find glue. After gluing the little metal ends to the boning, I slid those in and moved on to hand sewing the side seams since I figured it would look cleaner than trying to do it on the machine. When that was done, I started binding the edges with my twill tape. I only sewed down one side, intending to hand stitch it in place on the long car ride to France. All right, on our way to France today, and I have begun hand sewing around the edges here. Wish me luck. I think it should be pretty easy. And then I'll, actually I brought another corset to get started on. It's like an 1820s corset that I started a long time ago. I have a lot of projects in my basket or pile. Anyway, I will be sewing for the next, how long this will take. We'll see. We'll see how long it takes. Excuse the lisp. I have my Invisalign retainer in because I actually am replacing my veneers and I have temporary caps on my teeth, and one fell off last night and we had to go back to the dentist and get it put back on, and I'm deathly afraid now of losing it, of something falling off, of my teeth falling out in the next 2 weeks while we're away. So I'm just wearing my retainer all the time. So yep, right, here we go. Once in France, it was the moment we've all been waiting for. Did I mention I had decided to give this corset fan lacing? Why did I do this? Because I'd never done it before. That, and I figured I wouldn't have to dislocate my arms to lace myself up. Was I right in the end? Indeed I was. This method of corset lacing has a new fan. I think it's fantastic. Because it was such a nice day, this was July after all. Sorry it took so long to edit this together. We took a short photo shoot break. Our feline host was the guest star. But then, back to work. I had to figure out how to combine all of these laces into something convenient and tidy because I did not find a tutorial for this. Rising above the medieval town of Vitré, this 11th century fortress stands as a testament to France's rich and turbulent history. Once a stronghold of the Breton Marche, the Château de Vitré now welcomes visitors to explore its grand halls, fortified towers, and centuries of preserved heritage. Yeah, there's like explosions that way. Let's insert ourselves into this. Here it says this is the latrine, so I'm just gonna go and use the bathroom. All right, what's over this way? Oh my gosh, it's a bathroom. It's a latrine. You can't see it. Hi, little guy. Hi. What a nice place to live, right? All right, done with the castle tour. Didn't find an actual usable latrine, so I need to find one. I really thought there'd be one in there, but they seemed out of order. Okay, we found the restrooms, but sadly, they were not latrines. Didn't get the full medieval experience, but we're good now. On y va! there's the latrine on the outside. We now return to our irregularly unscheduled program. I now got the chance to use my new buttonhole chisel, which sometimes makes an oddly satisfying crunching noise when it slices through the fabric. That could be just me. I'd practiced making a couple buttonholes with it in advance, but my buttonholes would probably still make Bernadette cringe. At least it's an undergarment. And a finished undergarment at that. Finally, the moment of truth. How did it all come together? I think it turned out pretty well. But of course it would, right? Of course, since it's a sports corset, I also had to put it to the test. I could easily stretch and rotate, but could I do this? Yes. Yes, I could. Hey, you've made it almost to the end of the video, so I just wanted to say thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time. I'm not sure what comes next, actually, if it's a dress or more undergarments or both at the same time. I have no idea. I've just been focused on everything else, Dutch class, and getting this video done and edited. Oh my gosh, I have to edit this together. Thanks for watching. Hope you come back. And boy, I have so much to sew. I have so many things I want to make, and then I keep thinking of more things, seeing more inspiring dresses, and it's never ending, is it? It's just never ending. It's a bit of an obsession. It is what it is. We shall see. Whoop, I slapped that really loud. Thanks for stopping by. I think I'm going to, wear my corset, my sports corset. I'm gonna head out to the gym now and yeah, work out in my sports corset because, it's so comfy. I'll see you later. Bye. Now I need an Elizabethan dress.